Howdy guys and gals, welcome to the Social Regressive, where today we have the usual 32 inches of ballistics gel, but it brought backup. As you can see right here, we have Level IIIa body armor. So all I have is this pistol caliber, well, AR pistol. I don't know how I'm going to be able to get through that, except that this one happens to be chambered in the body armor killer 5.7x28. Now supposedly, any of the ammo should be able to cut through this armor within some of the practical distances. We're going to start at 7 yards and we're going to back up a little bit to see when it stops. But we have 3 different offerings right here, and all of these are kind of mellow compared to the original loadings that were supposed to be specifically for getting through body armor and getting the bad guy on the other side. What we have right here, we have the Federal 40 grain American Eagle right here. It's just an FMJ. That should have a pretty good shot at it. It's a little bit rounded at the nose, but it's still pretty pointy. We have the SS197 SR. This is the blue tip, the little hornety blue tip that you might have seen around. It's just a VMAX bullet, a 40 grain, and so it should open up quite a bit, but it'll be interesting to see if it makes it through this. And then we also have this kind of newer, weird one. This is the SS198 LF. This is a 27 grain bullet that is just going to be screaming out of here. It's a hollow point, so hopefully once it does make it through the body armor, it's going to do a good bit of damage to the blocks back here. Make sure you don't miss this whole series because we have more coming up and we have more in the past. See how I built the lower for this, and check out especially the CMMG upper kit that you can get. Before they had the Banshee that was kind of an all-in-one. It had all the pieces, it had the special magazines, it had a totally different shape to it. But this one is special. It can just drop onto your own pistol lower and you can choose your barrel length. So this one here is a 10-incher, or no, excuse me, an 8-incher. They have a 5-incher as well if you want to go smaller. This is just a really cool little truck gun, something that's very quick and easy to get your hands on. This can fit into a pretty small safe in your house and it can really work around corners pretty quickly. So let's see what this can do first at 7 yards, and then we're gonna start backing up and see when the body armor starts catching these bullets. I should mention that the scope I have up top here, normally I'm not going to run this with a scope. I'm just going to use the Black Hawk iron sights that you see right here. These things are really cool and they weigh nothing. But to help me get on target today, I have the Bushnell AR Optics 4.5 to 18 by 44 millimeter scope. Great image through here. I love it. It's a BDC reticle, milliradian turrets, side parallax adjustment, which I just love. This is what I use for a lot of my accuracy testing. And if you want to see some accuracy testing with these 3 loads, check it out here. I'll put a link to that video. Uh-oh. Look at that. Oh, look at that. Hey, buddy. I love these wolf spiders. They're great. I eat all the bad ones. Look at this. It was caught. Oh, man. People had been talking about how the American Eagle had been kind of neutered. Originally, they had some pointed bullets that were able to make it through this 3A armor. Oh, and this one did not. That little bit more blunted tip, I guess was, or maybe it's a little bit softer, who knows. But the armor caught it. Dang. Good job. All right, let's see what the others can do. Boop. Next up, the SS197 with that Hornady VMAX bullet. I'm not expecting much out of this. Usually those VMAXs just turn to dust when they hit at least a prairie dog. So let's see what it does to armor. Oh, okay, it's still there. This one might have made it through. Let's check it out. Sure enough, there's our exit, and it's pulling trails of Kevlar back inside the gel. It's not much of a wound, very thin. If you go back and take a look at some of the 223 tests that we've done with a variety of bullets, this is closer to an FMJ than a hollow point. And you can see that it only made it probably about 8 inches in. Actually, I'll revise that. I'll say that's about 6.5 inches. But still, that's, you know, it made it through. It punched through at 7 yards. I don't think this has much of a chance as we start backing up further, but we're gonna find out. Last one, 198 LF, which stands for law enforcement. No, it's lead-free. Oh, I think that one was good. That barely moved the armor. Oh yeah. All right, let's get around here where we can see it pretty well. This is crossing paths with the other. So this has made it to almost 15 inches of penetration. And there is our mushroomed bullet. Pretty cool. All right, one down. Only 2 rounds made it closer up, so we're gonna have to winnow this down. First off, VMAX. That's the SS197. And we are at 25 yards now. I stepped things up a good bit. Oh, I don't think that one made it. Oh, look at that. It caught the VMAX. I can feel that it's a massive mushroom under there. That's got to be at least a 1/2 inch wide. Right in there. Well, maybe not. Yeah, I guess about 1/2 inch. That's pretty darn big. Okay. Oh, yeah, I can hear things clattering around in there. All right, so we got some bruising on our gel, but that's about it. There's the LF there in the lower right. Oh yeah. That's actually a pretty good cut through there. That looks like it gets to almost 1/2 inch wide, I think, right there. And then it swoops up and exits the gel right out the top of the block. We're not going to be able to recover that one. All right, we made it through. Let's back this sucker up. Let's go to 50 yards. I hit the frame, I think. There we go. I think that was caught. Check it out. I did graze the frame, but check this out. There's the hit. And this is the one that made it through. How peculiar, especially when you see that shot number 2, which was just straight into the armor, was totally caught. And this might have been due to it maybe not touching the gel as hard. Maybe it had a little bit of a chance to slow that bullet down just a little bit before it hit the gel. Still, I'd say that we're right on the edge of what it can handle. We could probably step back a little bit and maybe still punch through. Let's take a look at the damage we have right here. There's the entry right there. Still good performance. Okay, look at this. All right, it comes in, cuts about 1/2 inch, cut right there. It's going nose forward. I think it may have tumbled right there. It kind of looks like tumbling because, I don't know, maybe not. It is pretty three-dimensional. I still think that it probably tumbled a little bit, or at least wobbled. And then it came to rest back here at probably about, yeah, it looks like about 12 inches right there. Let's step it back. 75 yards. Good grief. Can nothing stop 198 LF? There it is. And there it is right there. Oh, there we go. It's that hit right there, pulling some of those strings in. And again, it's cutting a pretty decent little chunk. I mean, it's nothing like a good defensive 9mm, but look at that. It ended up at about halfway. That's about 8 inches right there, just slightly past 8 inches. And it's mushroomed. Way to go, FN or Federal or whoever made this. It was trying to make its way out. And here's the end point. So in case some of you are wondering if some of these shots are a little closer together, if it might have damaged the integrity of the body armor, yeah, probably a little bit. But as you can see, here at 100 yards, it did catch that bullet, even with it, you know, possibly compromised. I think that we probably got a good solid hit, nothing to really worry about. And yeah, I'd say that 75 yards is our limit. All right, I win. I was afraid that this was going to defeat me and I was just going to have to give up. If you were wondering how to ammo up for the body armor wearing zombie apocalypse, now you know. Definitely go for the FN SS198 LF. Great stuff. And it's actually very flat shooting. Now this is the one that turned in the largest group of the 3 ammo types that we tested back here. But it was still decent, and as you can see, I was able to make hits at 100 yards. But also the other top tip is to bring this. This CMMG is just awesome. And keep in mind that this does have an 8-inch barrel. This is going to be longer than whatever you get on your Ruger 57 or any of the other pistols, the FN 5.7. They're all going to be shorter. They're going to have less velocity going on, but it's not going to be huge, and you'll probably still be able to get some decent distance and some good penetration with that 198 LF. Here are the projectiles that I pulled out of the gel. First off, here is the 197 SR. So this is that hornety blue tip. This is pretty much jacket right here, and I did notice some chunks of lead that were trying to poke out of the armor. So yeah, this one, it really has torn apart. It's not going to have much retained weight. Over here are the SS198 LF hits. So here is the 8-inch penetration. This is the one that came in at 75 yards. Here's the 50-yard one that came in at 12 inches. And then here is the close range one at 7 yards that came in at 16 inches. And you can see that the mushrooming through all three looks very uniform. Eagle-eyed viewers probably noticed that this was squishing out like a slug that had some salt thrown on it. Both of these blocks have melted, not because of the heat. It's only in the 70s today. It actually feels really nice, but because of the light. This is acting like a big lens, and it's concentrating it all down there on the table, and it's creating kind of a melted layer that just keeps expanding. I don't think it's messing with the gel too much, and the one that's melting the worst is this back one right here, which didn't actually get any of the bullets in it. So hopefully everything is still pretty representative back through here. I suspect that it is. We should expect the same, even if the gel were perfect, but just wanted to let you see that. There's more on the way, guys and gals, not only with 5.7, but with 243, 6.5 Creedmoor. We're gonna have some interesting times coming up. I have some really fun ideas for the channel. Make sure that you like, share, subscribe, and especially hit the notification bell so you can see when new videos come out. YouTube doesn't like us, and we would like for you to be able to find these videos in the future. That's probably your best shot. Hey, you can also check out the Social Regressive on Facebook. Sometimes it gives us a little bit better way to communicate with each other. I'm not the best at responding, but eventually I usually get around to answering any weird questions that you have. But thanks a lot to everybody that has made these videos possible, especially patrons of the destructive arts. Out on Patreon, folks are chipping in $1 or $2 a month to help to provide things like the ballistics gel that you see back here and the ammunition, which, if you can read those price tags, is certainly not cheap. So thank you guys a whole bunch. We have Sportsman's Guide and Stan and Mary at the .338 Lapua Magnum level. We have Joseph Davis, Peter, and Mr. No Name at the .300 Win Mag level. And we have a whole bunch of other folks that are chipping in $1 or $2 a month to just kind of help keep the audio gear working and keeping us in all these consumables. Thanks a lot, you guys, and I'll see you around in the next video. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to like, share, and most importantly, subscribe. Even if you didn't like this particular content, go ahead and subscribe. There's probably something coming that's more up your alley. Check out this playlist right here. This is going to have videos in a similar vein to what you just watched. These 2 videos we cherry-picked for you. And finally, the Social Regressive is on Patreon. So you can become a patron of the destructive arts and earn some goodies while helping us to provide high-quality videos just by kicking us a few bucks a month. Thanks a bunch for your patronage.